Hey ho, it's me, 73 aka Kenny, and in this short educational demo video, I will try to teach you how to really draw any texture or material. Like this one for example. My first material study ever. I also did a speed painting video for this one. Or this one here, that we will cover in this video. German quality prime time right here, ladies and gentlemen. They're basically all the same. If you manage to draw one, you can actually do them all for breakfast. If you like to, you can also paint along. I also did a review and unboxing of the tablet that I use. And there's also a free brushback on my DeviantArt channel. Feel free to share your final artwork on my international premium Discord channel so I can take a look at it. Now, you know, some people say that you have to do these things in art school. Now, please keep in mind that I never studied art or took any art course or lesson in my entire life. So it's kind of based on my own experience, more or less. So don't expect too much, okay?
Thanks, mister.
Now, generally speaking, the higher the contrast of your painting is and the more colors and details you put in a painting and the more energy you put into it, the higher the value of your painting will be. Well, it doesn't mean that you have to put in all these little details. Understanding what you're doing is much more important than painting a pretty picture. Anyone can follow along. You can also draw with pencil and paper. The results don't really matter at all. In general, you should just try to have a good time.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Nice.
If you have ever filled one of these color by number pages here out where you need to draw a dog or a little cow and every color is like a number tool, that's really what painting is all about. Seriosna. Now this exercise will mostly help you to develop better render skills and will give you a much better understanding of the colorios. I think it can teach you a lot if you are really into it. You can do these things in all forms and shapes and combine everything. A little bit more detailed or not, in all styles and however you like them. It's basically all up to you. Okay, vámonos. Step number uno, getting started. First of all, we need to figure out what materialios or what objects we want to paint or combine mine and in what shapes or forms, comprende? So we will just start to write things down that are interesting. On the left side I wrote down some 3D shapes like a sphere or a cube. And on the right side I wrote down some materials like plastic, sand, stone, whatever. And here are some more examples how it also could look. On our example here, I want to draw a human skull, это очень интересно, to really show you that it can really have any form or shape. I want to change the bone material. You could also use a heart shape and make it golden and give the painting to your loved ones. Ja, mon chéri, fantastisch. But we want to be edgy here, alright? If you want to eat, you have to kill. And I could tell you, I could eat a bear. To be honest, it doesn't even have to be a real material. You could also take objects and put them into different objects, like a bunch of PlayStations as a chair. It's really all up to you. It's more about getting you interested in doing some stuff.
Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything.
Yeah, you really don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing here. See this video more like a whole inspiration. The world is run by jackasses, so am I one, you know? Don't trust me, I'm absolutely crazy. In our case here, I want to draw a normal version, a watermelon version and an obsidian version. That's like an easy standard. Now we know what we want to design, we can continue to get more informations. Step number 2, collecting informations. Not only will I search for reference pictures online, I will also take a look at the work from other people. What have other people already painted? What can I maybe learn? Where's the industry standard? What style do I want to choose? What colors could play a role? How is AI handling it? Reference pictures, photos, where's the lighting? What about the science and all that nonsense? You have to make a lot of big decisions while painting, and the more information you have and the more knowledge you have and the more you know what you exactly want and how you can achieve a certain style or look, the better and faster your outcome will be. Ganz klarer Fall. I looked at some material texture studies and I want to paint out that it really doesn't have to be all round or all cubes. That's literally so boring. Make it fun and interesting, dude. Who wants to paint 100 different looking balls, dude? Nobody! Like, we are not in school here, okay? This is not a garbage lecture. I think learning actually should be fun, believe it or not. How can it be that I'm able to play 12 hours a video game, or that I'm able to draw the entire day, but I'm not able to sit 30 minutes strapped in some room with some trash teacher that is trying to teach me some nonsense that I'm not interested in anyways? Because all these teachers are all brain dead. Dude, why do I need to know who Pablo Picasso was? Dude, I wiped my ass with Pablo Garbarjo and Goch and Pollock, okay? To be honest, I don't respect these people. I think everyone can do abstract. They are trash and just as worthless as everyone else. And they only made it out of the garbage dumpster because they got lucky. If you ask me, I think it's a con job. You also don't have to do a lot. You don't have to fill pages over pages with nonsense. Just try to make one thing, but make it look pretty and really understand what you're doing. It can also help to make your own reference pictures with your phone. For example, if you can't find a high quality picture of a watermelon, you can actually leave your house. I know that's something you guys don't do, but you can actually go outside and take a couple pictures and analyze it. I would also recommend to avoid any form of cheating in this exercise. I would always be careful, especially when people write study. You know what they do? Look here, zack. They take a picture like this, color pick the hell out of it, done. And then they post that shit and say, Daddy, look, I studied it. I did my homework. Ice cream so good. Bullshit, dude. You did nothing and you learned nothing. Hello.
You're fat and you're black.
Problem solving is key because in the real world you don't have any of that stuff. And I'm not saying that you should never cheat, okay? Everyone has done it, everyone will do it. It's a normal part of growing. Especially in the industry, it's actually a standard. But please try to avoid it as much as you can in this exercise. Now if you say, this is hard, I can't even draw a straight line, boss, then you probably have to cheat, okay? And it's also fine as long as you are learning something. If you really understand everything about a watermelon and you know how the thing is growing and how the patterns develop, it will be much easier to draw one. Just be the watermelon. Arigato gozaimasu. To give you an example how you can collect your information properly, this is how an obsidian sheet could look like. You can see on the bottom right corner some Wikipedia informations that I collected about obsidian. With these informations, you start to get an understanding of the entire material. Obsidian is a volcanic natural glass. Obsidian is produced from quickly cooled lava, used to manufacture cutting and piercing tools. Obsidian can be used to make extremely sharp glass knives. Melts around 2000 degrees, you need a lot of heat. Smooth glassy texture plus high sharp reflections. Light creates a little rainbow-like sheen on it. Obsidian consists mainly out of quartz/sand. Color is usually black. In Minecraft it's displayed purple because red and blue makes purple. Now that you understood that obsidian is actually just tinted black glass, you start to think about it. Okay, obsidian was used to manufacture cutting and piercing tools, so what if I create an obsidian sword? What if I make obsidian armor? Can I make magic arrows out of it? And so on. What if this and that? You get the point. On the top left corner I added a crystal picture from Wikipedia to give you a much better understanding how the light is hitting these glass rocks. If you take a look at the colors here of black obsidian, you can clearly see that it's all a very desaturated 50 shades of grayish mess. Even the powerful rainbow-like sheen is getting annihilated by it. Now that you know what you want to choose and what you want to create and how to collect your information properly, you can go out there and make your own reference sheet for a watermelon. Step number 3, sketching. Now more advanced people can just jump right into painting and skip some steps like I did, but in general it's always a good idea to have a nice foundation for your painting. If you sketch or line art or underpainting or whatever you are doing is looking good, your painting will probably also look good. There are really so many different ways how you can approach a painting, and there's so many tips and tricks and methods that you can use, and everyone kinda has his own rhythm to it. And once again, this here is just an example. But to keep things simple here, we will just start drawing a skull like this. If you don't know how to draw a skull, it's more like this one here or this one here. People always say, oh Kenny, you are so talented, I wish I could draw like you. But you know, who is teaching me, dude? Who is there for me, dude? Nobody. It's all just me trying to become somebody. Like, that's who I am. That's what defines me. If you want to draw nice stuff, there's no way around it, okay? Like, you have to put in the work.
Suck it the fuck up and do
Step number 4, fill in. We will start to work in black and white. This way it will be much easier to follow and paint along. When you are incapable of doing this here, you are probably also not capable of doing the other stuff. Now that we got our skull form down, we can continue to bake the pie and fill it in. I will start to lay down some basic light and shadow values and start to merge the layers. Here's a quick warning, now this is probably not the most efficient way of doing things. Especially if you want to mass produce these things, it can really help to do everything on like a separate layer. And really add one thing at a time, step by step. And use all these different tools, because when you take a look at this picture here that I made for you, you can clearly see how things are building up.
Monster kill.
It's like layers on top of layers on top of layers. First, I started with a 3D rendered tube in Photoshop. Then I sketched over it, painted it in black and white, separated all the different objects and layers, and then I started to bring in some ground colors and hue shifts, and then I overpainted it step by step. Imagine that you want to build a car in a factory, and to have an end product that actually has value, you need to add a door and an engine and lights and so on, until you actually have a car that was made out of 20,000 different pieces. And oh lord, make it pretty. Nobody wants to drive an ugly car, right? Why does a pretty girl has hot long French nails? Because she wants to be pretty, and so your art should be too, if that makes any sense at all. Now believe it or not, but we are all drawn to beauty, okay? Whether it's a hot girl or the elegance of a home or some nice art. Art is so deeply embedded in the human culture that there will be always a place for it. And we are all somehow drawn to it. Step number 5, color. Now that I got my skull base ready, I can continue to build up on it. I put a new layer mask down and play around with different colorios variations and layer modes and shift the hue and set the overall mood of the artwork. Now that I got my 3 skulls ready to go, I'm officially on a killing spree. You can always adjust everything later on with all these filters. So don't worry if it's not looking perfect or if stuff is off. The nice thing about digital art is that you can always come back to it, no matter what. You can always play around and change everything, glaze over it and use all these different tools to make it look good. You can really make your art unique. You can paint different patterns on it or flowers, logos, really, whatever. You can let your creativity flow here. Let's say I want to paint a chocolate skull. I don't know what brown I should use. Do you know how many different brown tones there are? And it also depends, do I want to paint dry chocolate or melted chocolate? What temperature does my chocolate even have? You tell me, Homo sapien. There are so many things that you need to consider while painting, like flipping the canvas for example. And that's why you have to try stuff out and play around and think about it. And adjust everything and constantly destroy your own work as you go. It's more like a developing process. When you color pick or use some color palettes or just copy the colors from an image, you are not really learning so much. When you see a speed painting and people just pick pretty colors, you already know that there's something off, something is fishy. Also, when I paint a tennis ball, I'm not painting every single hair. I'm looking for a brush that is looking fuzzy or hairy like the unshaved chest of your mom. And I try to think about creating some sort of Minecraft texture pattern, instead of drawing every single hair for the next 5 hours. You don't want to paint every single hair or stone or leaf from a tree. Try to treat it as it is one big piece. Try to break things down and think in layers and the global picture and about the effects that you want to apply on it. Now, depending on what material you are painting, these things will obviously also change. If you stylize things or do your own way, it's totally different. But generally speaking, everything you paint should contain these basic rules of light and shadow. You know, not that I'm actually doing all of that stuff, but I guess it can be useful. Step number 6, actually painting. Pay very close attention.
I can't draw a
This is
straight
where
line. I
things
don't
are
have
getting
the talent,
interesting.
Bob, to do what
True
you're doing.
G move. I just merge all the layers again and I start to actually paint. Who would have thought that you actually need to paint? Wow! In general, I try to have as less layers as possible. This way, it really feels like I'm painting and not like some sort of work or task that I have to do, where you need to follow exactly these steps to get this end result. Now, digital painting and normal painting are almost the same, but I have to admit that I don't really have one way of doing things. It's not like I have a general painting process, where I'm always doing the same stuff. The nice thing about art is that you never really know how things will turn out, like you are exploring the unknown while you continue to walk down the rabbit hole. I told you I'm crazy. Yeah, and this here is the end result. Now please keep in mind that this is just a small inspirational side quest right here. You can also go in full hardcore mode and actually study materials in detail and how the flux wave are interacting with the dark matter and analyze everything in detail and go into the science. But you know, who cares? Now if you ask me personally, I think none of that shit is actually important. Like perspective and color theory and anatomy and this and that and this and that. If you just truly love art from the bottom of your heart and you have enough passion for it and you really enjoy doing it, you can't help but create good stuff. As I said in the beginning, I also have a premium personal Fight Club Discord channel running, where it's all about me raping and abusing you, okay? Now, it's all about YouTube and art and music and stories and movies and playing video games and all that stuff, okay? Getting better, winning, sharing informations. So if you want to stalk me or if you just want to have my honest asshole opinion, the invite link is down in the description. Anyways, thanks for watching everyone. Like and subscribe if you want to see more useless art tutorials. Feel free to motivate me and press like, or check out my DeviantArt channel or my ArtStation account where I post a lot of crazy stuff. Make sure to rate my video 5 stars and have fun with it. Thanks for watching again and bye bye.
All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming.